Mutual authentication, or in short mTLS, is heavily used in the most current security architecture that is called zero trust. And because of this fact, I believe it's a good idea to understand mTLS. And in our context, we will see what the role of PPK at implementing TLS. Let's start. Because it's an important issue, let's give it 1 minute to remember where we left from the PPK. We left one item open and we said we will handle it in mutual authentication. So reminder, whenever we are using encryption, either symmetric key encryption or asymmetric key encryption, which is PPK, we are forming a circle of trust, which means anyone who has keys, either symmetric or asymmetric, can understand messages of each other, while anyone outside of the circle of trust, they have no access not to listen to the messages and not to push in messages, which is great. Next phase, we discussed what is inside the circle of trust, and we said the following. From the perspective of this ship, it has the public key of the command chip, of the private of the command chip. So any incoming message, it can trust for sure, came from the command chip. Inbound message that is sent, for example, from this ship will not be able to be decrypted because this is the property of PPK-based encryption. So this way, this ship can tell if messages that the message it was able to decrypt came from the command chip. On the other hand, from the perspective of the command chip, this is not the situation. Why? Because all the other ships have the same public key that belong to the private of the command. So any message that the command chip gets, it cannot tell if it came from this ship or this ship. Before we continue, a very important remark. If it is enough for you, from the perspective of the command chip, let's say the server, to know that any message that you get is coming from one of the applications, other applications that are trusted, if this is enough and you don't care who is the application, we don't need anymore. We don't need mutual authentication. We can stop the video here because you can trust whatever is inside the circle of trust. If you want to remember this, go to the PPK video. However, if you as a server, command chip, have to know which of the client applications / command chips, fighter ships, were sending you a message, this is the place where we use mutual authentication. And because in, for example, zero trust, we need to know each side, this side or this side, all of the sides need to know who is the caller, not only that he is trusted, but also who he is. Then we have to go deeper one level and implement mutual authentication. Before we continue, a little bit orientation. If you remember in the browser server handshake video, we discussed the specification that is called TLS, and important part of this specification is how the client and the server create trust between each other. This is from that video. Okay, if you don't remember, go 1 minute to this video and listen, it's not long. But what I want to emphasize that this is the TLS video, and now we are in multi-TLS, so it means that we are going to use this as a base, and I will not go again on this one. But if you want to understand what is mTLS, it's just this happening twice. So if the client needs to trust the server, this is TLS. The mutual TLS is the client needs to trust the server and the server needs to trust the client. So this part is exactly like this part, where client learns to trust the server. And then we are doing just opposite. And this way the server learns to trust the client, actually to identify the client. So mutual TLS, eventually, we have nothing more to say. It's actually 2 times this process. One to gain the trust of the client on the server, and one to gain the trust of the server of the client. After these 2 phases, there is the regular communication, let's call it the applicative communication, that is done already with symmetric key. That's it. This is mutual authentication. By the way, if you want a video about zero trust, write me down in the description. I will be happy to create one. What next? We discuss now mutual authentication. We were basing our discussion over the video about PPK. You can now go and check out how PPK is being used to secure other technologies, SSH, digital signature, and browser server negotiation we discussed here. So I guess you should have seen this video also. So thank you very much and good luck.